Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on a little bit of drainage. So I'm going to impart a little bit of how I do drainage, and this is actually very convenient because it runs across a couple of different types of drains. So up first we have the drainage from the sump pump is coming, and basically I just got it out of the house and down past my septic and my leach field, so that way it would just keep draining, and it was just ground draining from there this way. I'm gonna have to finish burying that, but I'm gonna do that when I replace this fence in about a month or two. I've got to pull all these posts, replace the fence, raise the ground right here, level it out, and that's when this is all gonna get buried. Over this is a lawn drain, and I'm just using this because I have the pipe for it. So instead of going and buying more Schedule 35 and other stuff, I'm just going to run this, which will help drain part of this lawn as well, which it gets a little moist, but I'm going to build it up. And as you can see right here, this part of the driveway always gets saturated, well saturated, so I'm going to build that up as well. But this will help all of that drain. What little does leak out of here when the sump pump comes on will be negligible compared to the groundwater. It's going to drain into this Schedule 40, which goes across the driveway area into some perforated Schedule 35, which will help drain a little bit, into some more Schedule 35, and finally into the end of what was the French drain for my corrals. So you can see in the background there, it sort of pops out past the corrals, and all that did was, this was just a French drain to help get a lot of the moisture out of this corral. It works pretty well. Normally this whole thing is just like a complete marshy swamp. It's only right here, this little triangle that I'm outlining, only that section is a marshy swamp, but even that's a lot less than it was before I put all of this in. So I just cut the end off of that French drain, or blind drain as they say, and attach this, so that way again my sump pump will drain out through here, catch that, and keep going that way. I'm not too concerned again of the French drain leaking. It should all just keep going that way. When you're doing French drains, and when I do them, I like them at like 2 to 4 degrees, and I estimate that at about being about a quarter of a bubble. If you have a 4-foot level, it's about a quarter of a bubble off of level. That way you get a nice smooth run of the water, but you're still nice, decently level, so more saturates in evenly. You're not extreme tilted or extreme flat where the water just sits there. And then I like, whenever I'm crossing, like right here where I'm crossing the driveway, I like the Schedule 40. That way if I'm moving big equipment or heavy trucks, it's got less chance of caving in because it's stronger all the way around. And I like doing at least double the diameter of the pipe deep. Single, if it's like 12-inch and it's reinforced or corrugated, is fine. But I always prefer, when crossing driveways, if possible, do at least double the depth. This is 4-inch Schedule 40. We're actually closer to 3 or 4 times as deep, close to 12 inches deep here, which is fine. It just adds more, it lessens the PSI that's directly on top. It curves around it more and better with the deeper you go. There's less chance of it just crushing. Now I covered that all up with a 6-inch stone and 2-inch stone, and then a little bit of dirt on top of it, because that's a sort of a hopcob homemade connector, because I ran out. And I would have liked this Schedule 40 to go like another 3-4 feet that way, but I'm not going to take the 2 hours to go find and buy that just to extend it 4 feet, when this is fine. I can just build all of this up with stone, got a nice flat stone, so I'll set some build up around this on either side with some good stone. Then I'll set that flat stone right on top so it doesn't cave down in. It'll push down on the stone and work around it. I got quite a few nice big stones out of here. I'm gonna have to go put someplace else and then fill this all in, work it all in. Because this is not drainage, I'm not going to wrap it or do just 2-inch stone around it like I normally do a French drain. And because this is just lawn, I'm not going to worry about wrapping it or doing 2-inch stone around it. If this was, like I said, this is primarily more of getting the sump pump away from the house and down through. So that's why I'm not worried about wrapping it or 2-inch stoning around it, because not that much is going to get into those slits. So I've got some roots to clean up, and I'll clean those up, then cover it, and then just keep rolling it back and forth. But this way I don't have to take pictures of it, put it in the Butler book. I can just look on this video and be like, oh yeah, that's where everything is. I'm not doing exact measurements, but it gets me pretty close. Like, that rock has been here for about 50 years, so I know it's right about there. And this gets me an idea of where that French drain is, because I thought it was this way about another 3-4 feet. So took a little bit to find it, but we found it. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Questions, comments, concerns about drainage or culverts or something like that, feel free to drop it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So a few last minute things that I thought of. Wow, I need to stop saying anytime you're setting these, always brace it in certain spots. So this brace is right here. It's just dirt underneath, so it's not going to go in place. Dirt underneath and around, dirt underneath and around, dirt underneath and around. That way, as you're pushing stuff back in, it's not going to beeble bobble, raise up, lower down, all that fun stuff. If this was like corrugated pipe for like a town road or something, you're going to want to, once it's in place, again, that 1/4 of a bubble, maybe 1/2 a bubble, till you're going to want to take some really good gravel and 2-inch stone and really pack in around it until it's about 1/4 to 1/2 buried. Then finish with the machine. But you can move the machine and use the machine to move the material in, and then have some guys with 2x4s tamping that all down in to ensure that you got a really good base. So that way the culvert pipe doesn't push and go, push out, move, or do anything of that, or tilt and variance once you've got it in place where you want to go. So I am going to probably take a few pictures, throw in the Butler book just so I know where all of this stuff is. You can actually take pictures, print it out, take a few minor measurements. But we're gonna go with that. And then I'm not doing like I would for a town culvert or a city culvert or anything like that, because this is just a simple drain and it's not going to move that far or that much with me just filling it in right now. Also, I did not pipe dope or pipe cement the connections here, again, because it's just a simple drain. I did the French drain way back when, but you don't need it when the pipes are going to be this easily accessible. And a setup like this, it's a little overkill. If this was a professional job, somebody else's yard, then yes, I would pipe cement them. But for myself, it's not that. I'm not as concerned about it. So those are just some last minute thoughts on all of this. If this was a professional job, I would wrap that garden pipe or lawn pipe in road fabric, do a 2-inch stone underneath it and around it just to allow more water to seep into it, and then cover it over with a nice 2 to 4 inches of topsoil, and then seed on top of that. That way the lawnmower won't fall in and cave in on it. But like I said, I'm going to deepen that once I put all this in with some good loam, and then deepen and bury all of that when I redo the fence later this year. So with that little bit of add-ons, it's a beautiful sunny summer day. The cows are being lazy, and I'm gonna call it there for this video.